Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. I hope you had a lovely Easter weekend. Maybe you're still on holiday, enjoying yourself, but hopefully you can use that time to listen to this blog and to maybe get a little bit more focused on some spring, summer goals that are going to carry you forward to the summer. Maybe you overindulged a little bit over the weekend and need a little bit of a kick up the bum to kickstart some summer goals as well. So I'm here to help you do that. And this time of year is a classic time when lots of people want to start running. It's London Marathon time, so people watch that on the TV and feel inspired. It's the nicer weather. We've got a beautiful day today, lovely weather, longer days, lighter mornings and evenings. All of that combined generally tends to inspire people to want to start running. But maybe that's you, but maybe you feel like you don't quite know how to get started. Well, that's where I come in. My background is actually long distance running. I love to bounce because I find that really does help me with my running fitness. And originally, when I used to run all the time, I bought a mini trampoline for helping to cross train. So when I was injured from running, I could still keep up some fitness on the trampoline. So I can tell you now, if you have been bouncing and you want to get into running, I think you'll have a fantastic head start, and you should find it more doable than you perhaps could do before. So bounce is fantastic for starting your running journey. If you are looking to start your running journey, but you maybe fancy starting with bounce, just a little bit more fun maybe, and because obviously it's a class, you've got that accountability and that coaching, that motivation as well. Maybe that's a better place to start with your overall fitness that will then help you to get into running later on. Or maybe you just want to do it all at the same time. You can come to bounce anytime you like. But if you want to get into running, I'm going to help you to do that. So maybe if you're still on holiday this week, or you just need to have a little bit of time to build up and get yourself in the right mindset for starting running, then the first step that I want you to do is to get focused on why you want to start running. So it's always good to have a good reason for doing it, not just because someone else is doing it or you saw it on the telly and you just think that you should. Often people think that because running is a great calorie burner and also really good for fitness, that it is the thing that you need to do. But actually, it's not the only thing that you can do to burn lots of calories and get fit, because as I said, bounce is really good for that as well, and a lot of other exercises as well. So running isn't for everyone, but if you do really want to get into it, maybe it's that you've tried it before and maybe you tried it before and actually really enjoyed it and you want to get back into it. So that's a great motivation. Maybe it's that you really do want it to work for you around your schedule, because you can just sort of put on some trainers and go and run, and that just could really work for you. Maybe it is that you want to do a marathon or a 5k, 10k, half marathon, whatever it is. You've just got that desire to do that. Whatever it is, maybe it's just that you want to lose weight and it's a great calorie burner, so why not? Or maybe you think it's going to make you feel good and feel fitter and healthier and all of that. So whatever it is that is making you want to start running, then I want you to get focused on that this week. If you've got any inclination to start running, get focused, really kind of get in that zone, get in that mindset of why you want to start running. Because actually that's going to really help you to make that first step and to actually start running, and then to keep going as well once you have started. And you probably find that, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Maybe it's going to be harder than what you thought at times. So that drive, that motivation for why you started in the first place is going to be really key for keeping you interested, keeping you motivated, keeping you disciplined along the way as well, so that you can then progress. So focus on that this week. First of all, step one is to think about why you want to run, not just thinking about the how and when and things like that. We want to think about why it's important to you. And if it's not important, if you can't actually think of a good reason why to start running, then probably don't, because actually you will probably find it quite challenging, and you won't want to keep going with it if you don't actually have a genuine personal meaning behind starting in the first place, because running is quite tough. It can be quite tough on the body as well, so you've got to kind of get the head in the game first of all. So focusing on why first of all, then we're going to focus on how to start. Now I can make that really simple for you, because once you've got focused on why you're going to do it, you're going to need some kit first of all, but don't go out and spend a fortune on kit, but just make sure you've got some trainers that are comfortable, that you can at least walk in, and I wouldn't say like sort of hiking, walking trainers. You don't want anything too heavy, but just some general kind of fitness trainers would do the job, to start with at least, because what you don't want to do is spend a fortune on new kit and then not actually want to keep it going, or struggle, and then you've wasted money. So just some basic trainers to start with. And then the key thing for getting started is literally to go out and do that first, I'm going to say run like this, because actually it doesn't really need to be a run. It can be a walk/run, or it can be a few intervals of running and things like that. So it's unlikely that, unless you've been doing lots of other exercise or you've just had a little bit of time off from running, it's unlikely that from watching this and then deciding that you're going to start running, that actually you'll be able to just go and run a sort of 5k. Great if you can, fantastic, and you're much fitter than perhaps you realise. But for most people, you're going to need to start steady and build up, and that's where things like what's it called, Couch 5k come in handy, that sort of thing. And that'd be the sort of advice I would give you to start with, a Couch 5k plan, or just a basic sort of starting running for 1 minute, walk for 1 minute, then do that again and just repeat for sort of 20 to 30 minutes. Really simple, but you just got to get out there and do it. So some kind of run/walk or walk/run. If you find that it's actually harder than you think to get started, in terms of you kind of overthinking it, you're thinking, oh no, what if I'm no good, what if this, that and the other, and that is a bit of a mental block and a bit of a barrier for you, then what I would say is get dressed for a run. Ladies, sports bras as well, essential, but get dressed for a run, but go out for a walk and then just see. So walk for 5 minutes and then just see if you can run to the next lamppost, for example. Or if you find a nice downhill bit, maybe you just give that a little run, not a sprint, but just a nice jog run, just to say that you've done some. And actually then you probably will feel like, oh, it's not too bad, actually, I can do this. So if it is a bit of a psychological thing that you just need to break that barrier down, I would say go out for a walk and add the running in. But if you're feeling good and you're feeling like, yeah, I'm keen to get started, then I would say go for a run. So put your kit on, but maybe start with a walk still anyway to warm up, but just you'll be itching to get into it, and then maybe you'll be able to just see how long you can run for. You might be able to run for 5 minutes, you might only be able to run, and I say only, for 2 minutes or for 1 minute or for 30 seconds. It really doesn't matter how long it is. The key thing is just that you go out there and you do it, and then ideally if you sort of run for sort of 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever, or 5 minutes even, that you have a little bit of walk after that maybe, and then you run again. If you can run for sort of 10, 15 minutes, then you might just want to do a cool down walk to finish, and that be your first run done, tick. So that would be great if you can, but there's no pressure on that first time that you run, that first activity that you do. You just want to go out there and just prove to yourself that you can do it. So that is the how, to get started anyway. And then after that, we just need to be building up. So it really is going to depend on what you do in that first run, that first session, as to how you progress from there. But if you if you can, you're just trying to build up bit by bit. So you want to so say if you ran on once in 1 week, maybe it's this week, maybe it's next week, whichever, but the first time you go out, you do it once in the first week. Then the next week you're trying to increase that just by a little bit more. So maybe if you ran for 1 minute non-stop and you did that sort of 10 times, maybe the next time you try and run for 90 seconds, and you do that 10 times, maybe you could push yourself to do a 2-minute run, and you just want to try and build it up bit by bit. So you're not going from running for 1 minute to then running for 10 minutes. You just bit by bit building up, and it makes it a little bit more manageable to do that. Trying to build up anyway. But if you feel like actually you just want to stick with the sort of 1 minute, then maybe we try and do a second session in that first week. So you do the same again in that first week. Now, we don't want to be doing too much. That's a key thing as well when you're just starting to run, is that trying to do too much. You definitely want to have sort of a day or two between runs as a minimum, but you might even want to have sort of a week in between, or 5 days or something like that, just to maybe even forget about the any discomfort that you experienced when you ran, but to give your body time to recover, because it is quite tough on your body. Running is high impact. You're going to feel some different muscles and your bones and joints and things as well. It does take its toll, so you don't want to do too much, but equally we don't want to leave it too long that then you're not really being consistent and not getting into the flow of it as well. So just try and find what works for you, that balance. And if you are doing other exercise and activities as well, that's your active recovery, so that is good. So don't just forget doing everything else. It is quite nice to have the balance between sort of doing running training and other cardio and other resistance training and yoga and things like that as well. It's really nice to have a good balance. So just not leaving it too long, but not doing too much, and then doing that next session, building up gradually bit by bit. And then by the end of, if we start now, or even if you start next week, by the end of sort of April, we could be doing, well, it's hard to say because it depends where you start from, but we could be running significantly more than what you are at the moment. And then by the summer, we could be looking at running your first 5k and comfortably doing that as well. So be into a really nice routine and rhythm where you feel you can call yourself a runner, and that is part of your fitness routine, and feeling good for it. So hopefully that helps you to get started. There's lots of other advice that I can give you along the way, but I really do want to try and keep this simple and not overcomplicate it, because it really is quite straightforward. Our bodies know how to run. There's definitely things we can do to make it more efficient, make it more doable. I will just give you one key thing, is to focus on breathing. That's always what I try and say to new people when they're starting running, is to focus on the breathing. And if you're having some walk intervals as well, that will give you time to just take some air in, deep breaths, and just stop and just get your breath back before you go again. But really do focus on, I always say about breathing out. So you're breathing out like you're blowing a candle out. Like that when you're running. That's just going to help you to when the going gets tough, then that's what you need to focus on. Using your breath to help you to push through. But there's lots of other top tips like that I can give you. So if there's anything specific that you need help with in order to get started or keep going, then please do ask me. Hopefully this has been helpful to get you out the door for that first run session. Please do let me know how you get on as well. I love running, so I love to help people to start, and just hopefully it works for you. So please do let me know how you get on, and I'll see you next time.